What is up? What is going on, y'all? It's your main man. Got back at you another video, and today we are going to be discussing my One Piece stocks portfolio for 2024. You know, deep into agenda piece. We're always talking about stocks that are going up, stocks that are going down. If you've been around this channel for a long time, you know I'm a long-term holder of Frankie stocks because you know, they just never fail. Those all stocks never fail. But we're gonna get into, like, I'm not gonna say side characters because there are some main characters in here, but just people that I think could have a big or a small 2024. So we got my first stock that I'm going long on, holding for the entire year and maybe even into 2025 is, of course, God D Usopp. Obviously think that Elbaf is going to be a Usopp focused arc, or at least he's gonna have a lot of shine in it because, you know, he's been friends with the Giants, been trying to get to Elbaf for forever. But Elbaf may be a long arc. Freaking Egghead has been going on for longer than a year, so we might not get the Usopp payoff until like the climax of the arc. So this would be something I would say is a swing, but honestly we might be an Egghead until the summer. Who can say? The way Oda be doing break weeks, the way Egghead just always throws in some random twists, we might not be done with Egghead soon. So long-term holding on Usopp, and Usopp stocks are pretty fucking low right now. Like, yeah, there was a little jump in the stock when we found out we were going to Elbaf, because everybody thinks that Elbaf is going to be a Usopp arc. So when we got like confirmation that we are going to Elbaf, the stock jumped a little bit, but Usopp has literally done nothing but get no diffed by S-Snake since we've been on Egghead. So I think now would be a great time to invest in some Usopp stocks because they can't really get much lower than they are right now. And he's going to have a big payoff in the next arc. Next one I've got holding long term is Sabo. I think he's going to be the main mover of the Revs going forward. Obviously, Dragon's going to do his thing, but I mean, Ivankov had their shine early on. Kuma is probably not going to make it out of this arc, and I think the fact that he's Luffy's brother is going to give him a lot of shine as the main person in the Revs. And even in the Flame Emperor chapter, they were saying that his notoriety or influence or something is even greater than Dragon's. So that gives me a lot of faith that Sabo stocks, wherever they may be right now, depending on how you are a fan of Sabo or not a fan of Sabo, they did kind of take a hit during the Reverie because he kind of got like one-shotted by Emu. And everybody thought he was helping them fight the Admirals, and he didn't even see an Admiral the whole time he was at Marijua. So I think Sabo stocks are at like a pretty good dip right now. And now would be a great time to buy because I think he's going to just be the main driver of the Revs. And speaking of the main driver of the Revs, who should be the main driver of the Revs, but has done nothing but steer east, I have a long position on Dragon simply because his stocks cannot be lower. This man has done nothing in the 1,000 chapters since he's been introduced except for gasp, sweat, and stare east. It's like a $2 stock. Everybody knows he's gonna do something great, but we never know what's gonna happen. This might be a 3-year hold. I know I said this is like holding for the whole year, and maybe in 2025 you might have to hold Dragon stocks till goddamn 2027. The way he be acting. The last stock I have is the rest of the girls say. I think they will all be a lot more impressive than Saturn. More on him later. So just to recap for my longs, I have Usopp, I have Sabo, I have Dragon, and then the rest of the girls say what you could say either 1 or 4. For the swings, for the short term, 3 to 5 months stocks. First off, I have Law. This is a little bit of personal bias, but I think that he's gonna get like a few chapters either before we get to Elbaf or during Elbaf, where we just cut away, see what he's got going on, like get a status update, what him and Beppo are doing, if he still has a crew, what his next plans are. I don't think he's gonna be huge in the next arc or the next 2 arcs. That's why I just got him as a swing, so we can get like a, hey, he's not dead, he's not retiring, he's on to bigger and better things. Then we're going to sell those stocks off instantly. Mihawk, I got next. Solely because I think we've done enough hype building and like lore building for Cross Guild. I think the next time we get a Cross Guild chapter, which I'm predicting would be in the next 2 to 5 months, it's going to be a pure action chapter. Maybe not pure action, but like we find out they did something big physical wise. Like they was out there boxing with somebody, either took down an admiral, wiped out a couple vice admirals, or did something. And Mihawk's gonna be in the forefront because obviously he is by far the strongest member in Cross Guild. My next stock, I have Lilith, solely because I'm betting she's going to be the only Vegapunk to survive this arc, and she's gonna go with us to Elbaf. I don't think she's gonna play a gigantic role outside of, like giving us some info we might need, but I think that Pythagoras, Atlas, Edison they're not gonna make it. In York, she's kind of like evil, so even if she doesn't die, she's probably gonna get captured by the world government, or maybe the Blackbeard pirates or something. So I think that Lilith is going to be the main Vegapunk going forward. And last, for my swing trades, I have Robin. Robin doesn't really do too much. She doesn't really fight. I mean, she's bandaged up right now, so she got a fight in Wano, had an off-screen fight, and that's like pretty much all the combat Robin has. However, I think she's gonna have a big, huge moment in the Library of Ohara, reading the books. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be lore dumps left and right. Obviously, he's gonna have a super heartfelt reunion with Saul, and everybody's gonna be happy. We're all gonna be crying, tearing up. It's gonna be great, and I'm gonna sell off those stocks immediately because Robin probably won't do anything for the next like 300 chapters. Those are my swings. Short term, 3 to 5 months. I got bets on Law, Mihawk, Lilith, and Robin. Now, for the gas. These are the ones that you bet the entire house on because it's not gonna last that long. Like I said, it's the scalps, it's the 3 to 5 chapters. We're waiting for them quick pumps, so we're getting in and we're getting out. I got 2 of them for this category. I got Zoro. I think that there's going to be a huge payoff at the end of the fight. Either, I'm like just pure headcanon right now, Zoro fan headcanon. I think either Jinbei pulls up and is like, hey Zoro, it's time to go. We gotta get out of here. Zoro ties up the bandana, one-shots Rob Lucci, we're out of there. Or Jinbei gets there, the fight's already done. Zoro's carrying around Rob Lucci like you to be carrying around his victims, and he just got lost. So Jinbei's gonna direct him back. So I think that whenever we go back to the Zoro fight, it's gonna be a huge payoff for Zoro fans, for Zoro stocks. Then we're going to get out of that trade immediately. And I also got Kizaru. Depends on who you ask. If you ask Admiral fans on Twitter, he's winning the fights against Luffy. He's sandbagging, he's mentally nerfed, and he's taking no damage whatsoever. If you actually read the story and see what's actually going on, Kizaru has not had a good performance in Egghead at all whatsoever. His best thing was beating Sentomaru. Then he got put down by Luffy twice, both times with one shot. So I think like when we have a real drawn out fight, whether he's going to go against Sanji or Zoro, or Sanji and Zoro, or Luffy and then Kuma takes on Saturn, maybe, I don't know. But whatever Kizaru does to end this arc, I think it's going to, he's going to have a nice end of the arc. And then we're going to sell the stocks immediately, because he's probably going to go out bad. Either like a real bad defeat or a character thing and he just flees the world government or something. But I think like in the next like 3 to 5 chapters, he's going to do something amazing. Going to have everybody's jaws on the ground. And then the stock's going to fall off. So once we get that pump, we're going to get out of that stock immediately. So quick recap for the scalps. We got Zoro, we got Kizaru. 3 to 5 chapters, get in, get out, get your money. And last but not least, we have our shorts. These are stocks that we think are about to plummet, and we want that money on the downside. First up, Bonnie. Bonnie stocks are at an all-time high. I don't see them getting any higher because I do not think she's going to join the crew like permanently. And I don't think she's going to have a huge role in Elbaf. I think once Kuma is done for, Bonnie is probably going to be done for as a character. Like, she's probably maybe going to join the Revs, stay with the Giants. I think moving forward, she's not going to be a huge integral part until the final war when, like, she's commanding the Pacifista or whatever. That last chapter did give me some trepidation about these Bonnie stocks, but I don't see her having a huge role within the end of 2024. Maybe, like I said, maybe in the final war, it's like an Order 66, and she's campaigning the pacifista to help us fight the world government. But this year, I think we've seen the best of the Bonnie stocks. The last one I have a short on is Saint J. Garcia Saturn. Like I was saying earlier, I think the other girls are going to be a lot more impressive, because there's like this theme that's constant in One Piece. Like, we saw Mr. 3 in Little Garden. He was pretty much fodder compared to Mr. 2, Mr. 1, and Mr. 0 Crocodile. We saw, I think his name was Satori, was the priest that Zoro, Usopp, and Luffy went against in Skypiea, and he had like a 20% survival rate or something like that on his trial. Everybody else was like 5, 10, 0. And then Anel was way better. And like Dofi, we ran into him and Punk Hazard and Dressrosa. And compared to the rest of Kaido's crew, Jack, King, and Queen, he was fodder compared to them. So I think that we're seeing that we're going to get that same theme with Gorosei Saturn. I think that, you know, he's going to show us a little something, going to be a tad bit impressive. But once, like, his fight with Luffy or whoever is going to kick his ass this arc goes off, I think his stocks are going to plummet from here on out. And the other girls say, are going to be a lot more impressive, a lot better looking than Saturn is. And that is my stock portfolio for One Piece 2024. Just to recap, our longs, holding it for the whole year and maybe into next year, Usopp, Sabo, Dragon, the rest of the girls say. The swings, 2 to 5 months. Not super long, but also not short at all. We got Law, Mihawk, Lilith, Robin. Our scalps are short-term trades. 3 to 5 chapters. Get in, get out, get your money. Zoro, Kizaru. And our shorts, stocks that we think are at an all-time high right now, and it's not going to get any better. We have Bonnie and Saturn. If y'all like this video, let me know. We can do more stocks, different anime, different manga. We can do some for Solo Leveling, some for Undead Unluck. We can do some for JJK. I'm reading Black Clover right now, catching up on Sakamoto days. We can do stocks for all of those. So if you like this video, let me know in the comments. Throw a like to show your support. And if you have any disagreements or major stocks you think that I missed out on that I can add to my portfolio, let me know in the comments. I'll catch you on the flip side. It's your man, maniacdgod, signing off. Y'all be safe. Y'all be easy. And come back on Tuesday for anime.